In the heart of Kumarpara, a small village nestled beside the Narmada River in Madhya Pradesh, lived a potter named Vikram. He wasn't rich, he didn't own acres of land or a fancy tractor. What he did own, however, was a weathered potter's wheel, an old hut, and an unshakable belief in hard work. Vikram's hands were rough, his kurta often smeared with clay, and his brows constantly furrowed in focus. But his pots, they were beautiful. Each one seemed to carry a story, smooth, symmetrical, and shaped with love. One morning, as the first rays of the sun lit the dusty village road, Vikram was already at his wheel. His teenage son Aarav leaned against the door, yawning. Baba, why do you work so hard when others are switching to machines? He asked. Vikram chuckled, wiping sweat from his brow. Because beta, he said, hands create what machines cannot. Soul. Look at this pot. It's not just a shape, it's a patience, precision, and persistent. Arav wasn't convinced. He had grown up watching his father toil day in and day out, earning just enough to get by. Deep inside, he believed his Baba deserved more. That year, the annual Mela was being held in Jabalpur city. Potters, weavers, artisans, all folks there to showcase their creations. Arav insisted they go. Baba, this year your chance. The world should see your work. Vikram hesitated. He had never stepped far from the village. The city intimidated him. The idea of competing with other artisans made him nervous. But seeing Arav's enthusiasm, he finally agreed. Alright, beta, let's give it a try. Over the next 2 weeks, they worked day and night, the courtyard filled with rows of pots. Some painted in vibrant colors, others left raw, showing off their earthen textures. On the day of departure, they loaded their pots on a rented tempo and made their way to Jabalpur. The city buzzed with noise, lights, and people. Arav's eyes gleamed with excitement while Vikram looked overwhelmed. At the fair, Vikram set up his small stall beside a fancy looking booth where a young man displayed machine made ceramics. Those pots are so perfect, Arav whispered, but they look lifeless. The first day went slow. Visitors passed by, glanced at Vikram's stall, and walked on. Arav's hope began to waver. Maybe people don't appreciate handmade anymore, he murmured. But Vikram stayed calm. Beta, a seed doesn't become a tree in a day. Let it grow. The second day, a woman in a sari stopped by. She picked up a pot, felt its texture, and smiled. This reminds me of my Nani's kitchen, she said, buying three. That one sale gave them a spark. More people came, some drawn by nostalgia, others by the raw beauty of Vikram's work. By the third day, word spread. Visit the potter from Kumarpara. His pots have stories in them. Sales picked up. One man even invited Vikram to supply for his boutique shop. Everything seems to be going perfectly until the storm hit. That night, heavy rain and wind swept through the fairgrounds. Tents flew, items scattered, and stalls collapsed. By morning, Vikram's entire stock was destroyed, smashed, soaked, and cracked. Months of effort lay in pieces. Aarav sat on the ground, broken. All gone, Baba, all gone. Vikram knelt beside him. For a moment, he didn't speak. Then, placing a hand on Aarav's shoulder, he said, No, beta, not all. Our skill remains. Our spirit remains. Pots can break, but potters don't. Aarav looked up surprised. How can you stay so calm? Because life, like clay, is shaped by how we respond. Crying won't fix it, but rising again, that will. They packed up their stall and returned home. For a few days, things were quiet. Then one afternoon, they heard a knock. It was the boutique owner from the fair. I heard what happened, he said. But I saw enough to know your worth. I want your pots in my store. Can you deliver 100 pieces next month? Vikram smiled, eyes shining. Of course. From that day, things changed. Orders started flowing in. Aarav set up an Instagram page to showcase his father's work. Soon, people from different cities began to placing orders. Vikram's story spared. The potter who lost everything in a storm but rebuilt from scratch. A year later, Vikram was invited to give a talk at an art school in Bhopal. Standing before eager students, he said, "Life will break you, test you, soak you in storms. But like clay on the wheel, the pressure shapes you, not destroys you. So spin your wheel, keep shaping and never stop believing in your hands." So dear listeners, what does this story teach us? That failure isn't final. The storms come on not to stop us, but to test our roots. And that true strength lies not in avoiding falls, but in rising after every fall. Be like Vikram. Spin your own wheel, shape your story. Because you never know, your next creation might just inspire the world.